Ever since Tupac Shakur was gunned down before his time, the world has been looking to uncover clues in his lyrics that might suggest he knew that his time on Earth was about to end. Fatalists and tarot card enthusiasts will point to rhymes like "I've been shot and murdered," can tell you how it happened word for word, as definitive proof that he knew what was coming, even though he doesn't actually expand on that word for word proclamation. There are only so many subject matters available to write about, and death, particularly our own death, is one of the things that people are most fascinated by. So of course artists are going to get all philosophical about the topic and consider their own fates. And sure, every once in a while these prophecies are bound to come true. It's just the law of averages, really. Still, sometimes these lines are a little too specific and these musings a little too accurate to be pure coincidences. Whether it's a gut feeling or some secret medical advice that the outside world wasn't privy to, a few musicians have written downright eerie death omens that eventually came true, often sooner rather than later. My name is Rach and welcome to What Culture Music. These are 8 musicians who predicted their own deaths in lyrics. You can click subscribe for more lists like these and other passionate musical content. Check the description below for a link to the Spotify playlist to go along with this video. Number 8. Jeff Buckley. On May 29, 1997, Jeff Buckley was on his way to a Memphis studio to finish recording the last tracks of his sophomore album, Sketches for My Sweetheart the Drunk. But for reasons unknown, he and a friend made a detour to the Wolf River. The fully clothed songwriter waded into the water to go for a swim, singing the chorus of Led Zeppelin's Whole Lotta Love, but didn't come back out of the water alive. Although Buckley accidentally drowned in a river, not an ocean, it's easy to overlook this small bit of semantics in favor of the eerie coincidences that show up in 2 different tracks of Buckley's only complete studio album. In one track, Dream Brother, Buckley sings, "That dark angel, he is shuffling in, watching over them with his black feather wings unfurled. Asleep in the sand with the ocean washing over, dream brother, dream brother, dream, dream." And in Grace, well, it's my time coming. I'm not afraid to die. My fading voice sings of love, and I feel them drown my name. It's all very eerie, especially the part about his fading voice singing of love, when he died literally singing Led Zeppelin. Number 7. Jimi Hendrix. By now we all know the story of Jimi Hendrix's unfortunate and premature passing, and as far as prophetic lyrics go, these are pretty cryptic. In The Ballad of Jimi, he sings, "Many things he would try, for he knew soon he'd die. Now Jimmy's gone, he's not alone, his memory still lives on. 5 years, this he said, he's not gone, he's just dead." It's not uncommon for an artist to get all philosophical about life and death and even the legacy that they might leave behind. But writing a song about a fictitious version of yourself that proclaims that you'll die in 5 years? That seems oddly specific. The fact that Jimmy was indeed found dead 5 years later is what really ups the creepiness factor. Number 6. Warren Zevon. Warren Zevon, best known as the howler behind Werewolves of London, never worked in a factory of any kind. He never worked construction or held any job that might have required a respirator. His first job was as a musician and his last job was as a musician. So it's a little curious that someone who never faced repeated exposure to asbestos would succumb to mesothelioma, a rare form of cancer caused almost exclusively by repeated exposure to asbestos. And it is stupid amounts of serendipitous that Zevon had actually written a song about it. That song was The Factory, and the lyrics go, "I've been working in the factory, kicking asbestos in the factory, punching out Chryslers in the factory, breathing that plastic in the factory." Who knows, maybe the walls of the recording studio were chocked full of the nasty stuff. Pretty strange indeed. Number 5. Phil Linnet, Thin Lizzy. The song Heart Attack from Thin Lizzy's 1983 album Thunder and Lightning is the last studio song of the band's entire discography, because those guys knew how to end on a high note. The song goes as follows. Mama, I'm dying of a heart attack. My heart can't handle the strain that's shaking it. Papa, I'm drinking for an overload. Papa, I'm dying of an overdose. 3 years after the song was released, frontman and primary songwriter for the band, Phil Linnet, died of a heart attack. It was determined from an autopsy to be a complication of his well-documented excessive drug and alcohol abuse. There should be no part of those last few sentences that doesn't send chills going up and down your spine. Number 4. Roderick Anthony Barton, Dollar. While in Los Angeles to record his debut album, Barton, under the name Dollar, was shot several times outside of Beverly Center shopping mall. It's not unheard of for rappers to write about facing their own mortality, especially if they grew up in a rough, violent neighborhood. And in Georgia Nights, Dollar had written, "My papa died by the gun. I died by the gun. Every breath I breathe and every step I take, the clock ticking bringing me closer to faith. Papa died at 25, so he must have been great. They say the good die young, I must be on my way." It is a little ominous to sense that he would die so young. It's even more ominous that he raps about death fast approaching with the clock ticking, and is subsequently gunned down only days after recording this track. Number 3. Michael Hutchence, In Excess. The death of lead singer and lyricist Michael Hutchence is pretty much the stuff of legend. He was found in a hotel room with a snakeskin belt wrapped around his neck and a system full of narcotics. Consensus on how he died still drifts back and forth, with some believing it was due to accidental autoerotic asphyxiation, while others say it was a planned suicide. In a way, Hutchence wrote 2 different sets of lyrics about his eventual death, each one corroborating a different story. The song Bang the Drum contains an eerily coincidental verse that reads, "We've all seen both sides of the same face, called them friend. Oh baby, grab a noose, cause we're looking for a different end." And the song She Is Rising goes, "One day he wakes up to a different drum, rhythm coming from so far away. He had no time to tell anyone, his hips were moving to a perfect sway." Number 2. Elliott Smith. Elliott Smith and Michael Hutchence have a bit in common. Initially ruled as a suicide, Smith's bizarre death, caused by 2 supposedly self-inflicted stab wounds to the chest, would eventually be reinterpreted as a possible homicide. Some suspect his girlfriend was involved, as she's the one who found Smith with the knife stuck in his chest and pulled it out. But Smith spent the vast majority of his adult years in and out of depression, so it's not impossible that he could have taken his own life. Either way, the lyric snippets where the song's subject is arguing about his recent ex-girlfriend, about whether or not he should give in and do it, are extra creepy. The lyrics are from the song King's Crossing, and they say, "I can't prepare for death any more than I have. I took my own insides out. Give me one good reason not to do it, because I love you, so do it." One can't help but wonder if those lyrics were taken just a little bit too seriously. Number 1. John Denver. John Denver, the voice behind the absolute anthem Country Roads Take Me Home, also had another hit titled Leaving on a Jet Plane. It's a sad little number, all about a tearful farewell to a loved one as he is getting on a plane. Denver sings, "Now the time has come to leave you. One more time let me kiss you, then close your eyes, I'll be on my way. And I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh babe, I hate to go." In 1997, he was out piloting his own private plane high above the Californian coast when the craft suddenly experienced engine failure, causing Denver to fatally crash into the ocean. He left us on a jet plane after all. And that's our list. Thank you so much for watching the video. Be sure to follow the Spotify playlist in the description for the songs mentioned in this list. Subscribe to the WhatCulture music channel for more lists like this and other passionate musical content. And you can also visit whatculture.com for daily news and articles. My name has been Rach. You can follow me on Twitter if you like at Don'tRachQuit, but you'll be sure to have an awesome day. Bye guys!